You've clicked on another English Exposed video where I expose the truth about English. Let's start out with this one. Can you find the mistakes? Most of my students are kids between the ages of 6 and 14. And they are getting into this very bad habit of using shorts, like letters instead of words. Most of my older students don't do this as often. So, the first thing we'll do is fix the letter U. How do you spell U? Y-O-U. Right. Ask yourself, how many pools, lakes, or oceans do you swim in at one time? One, right? Yes, one. We need to use a to say a pool, a lake, and an ocean. And means one as well. But since ocean starts with a vowel sound, ocean, we must use an. And let's take away all of those ellipses. Those three dots are called an ellipsis. That's a fun word, ellipsis. An ellipsis is a set of three periods that indicates the omission of words from quoted material, hesitation, or trailing off in a dialogue or train of thought. An ellipsis should have spaces before, between, and after the periods. Here are some examples. Okay, that's two things we've corrected. And since we're talking about punctuation, is this a sentence or a question? Well, if you said it's a question, you're right, and we need a question mark. The words did you should tell you that you need a question mark at the end and not a period. And since it's a question, you're giving choices, a pool, a lake, an ocean. You must use or. When you use or, it means a choice. And let's talk about starting a sentence with when. If you start a sentence with when, you should know that you'll need a comma somewhere in that sentence. So where would you put a comma in this one? When you swam as a kid, did you swim in a pool, a lake, or an ocean? It goes right there. Good job. And now we have, when you swam as a kid, comma, did you mostly swim in a pool, comma, a lake, comma, or an ocean? Question mark. Let's look at the next one. For nearly 60 years, him and his wife Lida have been searching for any information about his past. Here's a hint. There are two mistakes in this sentence. Let's first, just for a moment, take away for nearly 60 years, comma. This part is correct. Now read the sentence. Him and his wife, Lida, have been searching for any information about his past. A lot of native speakers use him and her incorrectly. I've caught myself saying it by accident because I hear it so often. We don't say him has been searching. No, we say he, right? He and his wife, Lida, have been searching for any information about his past. That's better, but there's still one more thing that we should add. If you said commas, you're right. Lida is extra information. We can take her name out of the sentence and it doesn't affect it. If we use her name, we add 2 commas. If you're ever in doubt, just take out the information you think is extra and see if it changes the sentence. So, the corrected sentence looks like this. For nearly 60 years, he and his wife Lida have been searching for any information about his past. Great. Okay, this next one, well, it made me laugh. That isn't supposed to say dog nuts, it's supposed to say donuts. So, how do you spell donuts? Well, actually, there are 2 ways you can spell donuts. Donut is an alternative spelling of donut. Some dictionaries point out that donut is rarely used outside the United States. Donuts are made with dough, and that's where the dough part comes from. And the nut? Well, donuts are round. We call these donut holes. And these are donuts. When in doubt as to how to spell this, just remember dough and nut. Donut. Here's the last one. Let's see if we can find the mistakes. I don't know why this person wrote a few of these things in red. Usually, red means angry. Red is an angry color when it's written, right? So just ignore the red. Let's look at the first mistake, the word so. When you use the word so to start a sentence, you should use a comma after it. I know many people don't, so it's not a major mistake. I think it's one of those things that have slowly changed over time. Another thing that's changing over time is the phrase me and my. Here we see me and my husband. Again, think of yourself last. So it should say my husband and I. When you find yourself saying me and my, don't forget, think of others first. Okay, those are the minor errors. What tense is this in? If you said past, you're right. Good. Look at the story and change those words that should be in past tense. Pause the video if you need time. Okay, let's look at it together. Suddenly, I heard that I got a text on my phone that I left in the kitchen. I went to the kitchen to check it. And it was a text from my husband. Please bring the chips on your way back. And change the colon to a comma and add a period at the end of the sentence. And now it's a good story. Now some of you might have added a word. And you could have said, suddenly I heard that I got a text on my phone that I had left in the kitchen. I went to the kitchen to check it, and it was a text from my husband. Please bring the chips on your way back. Great job! I hope you'll click on another English Exposed video.